What's good, guys? JFREEDOM. What's going on? Man, I just got done with a HIIT workout like a little bit ago. Whew. Reach up and grab you. Feels so energized though when you get done like working out. Man, I feel like I got so much more energy. But my video today, man, I just want to give you guys like 5 beard tips for growing out the beard. Mine, I cut my beard down, like I shaved it down to like nothing a couple months ago. It's probably been about 3 months now. And I wanted to start back over fresh because first time I tried to grow my beard out, I made a lot of mistakes. I was trimming stuff I shouldn't have been trimming. Yeah, and I learned a lot through the process. So I don't know, I made a video a while back about a beard journey, and it was my first attempt at growing a beard out, and I didn't cut my beard for like a year, but I was trimming it and doing things to it I shouldn't have been doing. And I actually think my beard looks better now after 3 months than it did almost a whole year before, just from learning of what not to do. But you guys can get a little bit closer so you can see what I got here so far. Kind of got little patches here, like in here. These are kind of my weak spots. But I've been learning. Let me tell you guys, here's my tips, all right, for growing your beard out. Tip number 1, quit jerking off. Quit masturbating, because I don't know, it might be, this isn't really a touchy subject, but I don't masturbate. I quit doing it years ago. But if you're freaking jerking off all the time, like every day, you can't go a day without freaking jerking off. You might have trouble growing your beard out because all that testosterone that's supposed to be in your body, you're releasing it every day, and without that testosterone, it could diminish your beard growth. Like, it could make your hairs grow slower. You might have trouble growing a beard if you're freaking jerking off all the time, because if you learn to not jerk off all the time, all that extra testosterone is going to sit in your body, and it's got to go somewhere. So it's most likely going to go to facial hair growth. It's going to go to your hair growth. So that's tip number 1, guys. Quit jerking off. If you want to grow a beard, if you're having trouble growing a beard, just quit jerking off. That extra testosterone that's going to sit in your body is most likely going to help your beard growth. I'm a firm believer in that. So, and if you got a good looking woman, or you live with a good looking woman, or you're got a wife or whatever, you shouldn't be jerking off anyways, man. Freaking, that's part of self-growth. That's part of, like, I feel like that's part of becoming a man, is being able to resist that shit, being able to like control yourself, But yeah, if you got a good looking girl, man, shit, you can wait to have sex, because it's gonna be better anyways if you wait. Because if you're jerking off every day, that intensity that builds up from not having sex, it builds up and builds up, and then by the time you get to, it's just more, explosive. It's like more exciting than if you're doing it all the time. If you're jerking off all the time, then you finally get to have sex, you've already released so much testosterone that it's, just take my word on it, trust me. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 for growing your beard out is your first trim. Like when you go to trim your beard for the first time, okay, here's your Adam's apple, right? You want to cut your line on the bottom like 2 finger widths above your Adam's apple. So you take your bottom finger, right? You put it on your Adam's apple, and then right where this finger is, you cut everything below it, straight across. Don't angle it up, you know, don't angle it up crazy angle. You can give it a little angle, you know, if you want to go like mine. I kind of curve it up just a little bit, but if you cut that bottom line up, I see a lot of guys, when they do their first trim, they'll cut it right on their, my jaw is like right here. So here's where my jaw is, but my beard's down here, because basically it's gonna look funny for like whenever I go to grow my beard out the first month or 2, it looks kind of funny because basically you're trying to get the top to connect to the bottom. And when it starts growing out, it takes a little time for it to finally join together. So you want to make sure you cut that neckline low, like right 2 finger widths above your Adam's apple. Because if you cut it up too high and you start to grow your beard out for a few months, it's going to start to look funny because you're not going to have that mass on the bottom, which that's a lot of where your beard comes from. So that's tip number 2. Don't cut that neckline up too high. And if you cut it too low, where you start to get kind of like a neck beard as it's grown out, it's all right to trim it up just a little bit. But if you trim it too high to start out, you can't put it back. So if you cut it too low, you can always trim a little off. But if you cut it too high, you can't put the hair back on, you know. All right, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, growing your beard out, is don't mess with it too much. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys my first mistake I was making when I first grew my beard out. So I'd have like these flyaway hairs that stick out. Like they would stick out like flyaway hairs. And instead of brushing them down into my beard, I would just trim them off. Trim them. So like the first time I grew my beard out, I would say like once a week, I was trying to trim the flyaways all the time. Like trying to keep it too perfect. And what that does is over time, those long flyaway hairs are gonna grow into the bottom of your beard, and that's what's gonna give it the mass. That's what's gonna give you that girth. So if you're constantly trimming flyaways, you know, your beard's gonna start to lose mass as you try and grow it out, because those hairs are like important. So instead, just brush them, you know, just brush them into the beard and they'll lay down. And a lot of times you'll get hair, like I had this mustache hair because I was trying to thicken my mustache up a little bit, but I had this mustache hair and this thing would stick out. Like it would curl up away and it would just stick out randomly, and I didn't know it was there, and I'd go in the bathroom and be like, man, that shit looked like that. But now, the last 2 days, I've been able to comb it down, and now you can't even tell it's there anymore. Because it finally got long enough to where it wanted to lay down. So, just give it time. Alright? So yeah, tip number 3, don't trim it too much. Tip number 4 is give it time. Give your beard, you got to give it time, man. Give your beard time. Like this right here for me is like, this is like 3 months. 3 months for me. And I got kind of a weak spot here. These are my weak spots right here. But the first time I grew my beard out, I was always trimming those flyaways right in here, right? I haven't trimmed nothing. this time around, only thing I trim, like once every 2 weeks, maybe once every week and a half, I'll trim all the neck hairs that grow in below this, my line. I'll trim, I keep my cheek line as high as I can get it. So I only trim off any extra little hairs that are growing above my natural line. And when I do my cheek line, I don't try and make a hard, straight, perfect line. I just trim off wherever my natural line is. I just trim off all the hairs growing above it. Like, you don't want to cut in. It's okay if your cheek line isn't perfectly straight, because as your beard starts to grow out, it doesn't need to be perfectly straight. If you're going for that thick beard, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Just make sure you're getting off all the extra stuff, but leave that natural line alone. It's just fine. So, tip number 4, give it time, guys. It could take, I'm not one of those guys where like I can just grow a full perfect beard in like 3 months. Like, this is 3 months for me, and I come over my weak spots and I try to make it look as good as I can. But I have guys that I work with that in 3 months they can have a perfectly full, dense, everything's the same length beard, and every guy's different, you know. So yeah, if you're trying to grow like a nice thick beard, give it at least 6 months. I mean, you're gonna know what you're working with in 6 months. So give it time, guys. Tip number 5, growing your beard out. Basically tip number 5 is beard management, like taking care of your beard. So I'm gonna show you guys how I take care of my beard and what I do. So like every day, usually before I go to bed or in the evening after dinner, I take my beard multivitamin. All right, I take 2 of these. It's basically just a multivitamin. It's got biotin in it, and it's supposed to help with your beard, you know. So I take 2 of these. I take 1 biotin on top of this, just 1 little extra one, just to give it an extra kick of biotin. It's supposed to help with your hair, skin, your nails, hair growth. And then I take my fish oils. So I take my multivitamin, I take my little extra biotin, and then I take my fish oil. I take all 3 of these together. All right, and that's just to hopefully help with my patches, help make sure I'm getting the nutrients I need to grow a good beard. And then this shit's vital, man, for your beard. You gotta have a beard oil. All right, I like the Cremo, the Forest Blend, but I usually put this in the mornings, especially after you wash your beard. You take a shower. You don't want your beard all dried out, so while it's still damp, you want to put your beard oil in. And I'll put a little bit more in the mornings, just to give it a nice, freshen it up. I got a beard butter. You really don't need this stuff till your beard starts to get a little bit more weight to it. Because when your beard's real short, close to your face, you really don't need to be putting beard butter on. But once that hair starts getting thick, when your hair starts, you start getting some more weight to it, I've found out that beard butter, it'll soften your beard up, and it just makes it look nicer, makes it look less dry. And then I got a beard balm, and this balm basically will keep the flyaways down and just kind of keep it shaped, keep it held nice. This stuff has like some wax in it. The beard butter is more like a lotion texture. This stuff reminds me of like a leave-in conditioner. Like the texture of this beard butter is like a leave-in conditioner. It just softens the hair and makes it look nice. And then the balm's almost got like a hairspray texture. where it'll kind of just have a nice hold to it. But the oil is actually not for your beard. The beard oil is for your skin underneath your beard. The beard oil is going to keep it from itching. So especially like usually when you're growing your beard out, the first like 2 weeks, it gets real itchy because all the hair follicles are starting to grow out. So this beard oil is going to like keep you from wanting to cut it off because it's going to soothe the itch. So you want to rub this into your skin. You know, this isn't just like to pat on your beard. You want to make sure that the oil gets into your skin underneath of it. And then you got to have a brush. So basically when I get up in the morning, I'll get bed beard from sleeping on it. It'll get kind of matted up in that. I'll just, you know, brush it out and, you know, give it the shape I want. So, and then I have a little smaller one here that works a little bit better for getting the mustache. And then I like to use the big one for like the cheeks and underneath. So there you go, guys. Those are my 5 tips for growing out your beard. Leave a comment. Let me know how things are going. Oh yeah, make sure you're eating healthy. Make sure you're working out, because those things are also going to help boost your testosterone, which your testosterone is going to help boost your beard growth. So healthy diet, exercise, those things are going to help with the beard. So it's also going to help with life, you know. So yeah, guys, JFREEDOM 420, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.